I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's now move on to the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory, page 28. This is exercise 6 on the topic that is looking at the topic of key signatures and major scales. And before us we have some scales here in exercise 6 that have neither key signature nor accidentals, and so these are not going to be correct. And we're asked to circle notes that will need to be either sharpened or flattened in relationship to the key signature that they belong to. And so we've got to then first of all think, well, what should it there be in the key signature? So we know that A major requires F sharps, C sharps and G sharps. And so every time we see an F, a C or a G, we need to remember that they need to be sharpened. However, do remember that an accidental lasts for a whole bar. And so, for example, here this is circle because this is a C, we're in the treble clef, and so that should be a C sharp, so therefore that would need an accidental. If, for example, there was another note on that same pitch, C, we would not need to circle that again because the sharp, the accidental lasts for the whole bar until it's cancelled. So you wouldn't need to worry about that one. Any other octave would still require a new accidental though. And so let's look in this next bar here. So here we have BA, so nothing there. So here, this one is every good boy deserves football. That should be an F sharp, and so that requires an accidental. And although that should still be F sharp, we don't require an accidental because this accidental would still be active. The bar line hasn't appeared yet to cancel that, so that does not need to be circled. We have an E and a D which are not affected by the key signature. And then in the next bar, if that's an F, we know that one above that is a G. That should be a G sharp, so that should have a sharp sign, an accidental. A, B, E, none of those are affected. So now that you've had a look at that, perhaps you can now attempt the final exercises B, C and D. So let's think about this. We're in E flat major in the bass clef. E flat major should have a key signature of B flats, E flats and A flats. So they're the notes we need to look out for. We're in the bass clef. This is a good boys say football. That's a note F. Now here we have an A which should be A flat. So that needs to be circled. One step down is G. Now here, this is G, A, B. That's a B. That should be flattened. So that would require an accidental. F isn't affected. G isn't affected. Then the bar lines cancelled everything. Here's an F. Now here we have the note B again. That should be a B flat. That would need a new accidental because this accidental has been cancelled. We would need a new one for this next new bar. However, here, this subsequent B and all of these others do not need any more accidentals because this accidental here would carry for all of these notes until the bar line finishes. So we just need that one accidental and that will deal with the rest of these note Bs in this bar. Let's move on. This is B flat major in the bass clef. B flat major should have B flats and E flats. So these are the notes we need to look out for. So if this is an F, Good Boys Deserve Football, that's F. That's a B, that's the B below middle C, so that should be a B flat, so that needs an accidental. And if that's C, D, E, that should be E flat, so that also needs an accidental. Now this next one does need an accidental because the bar line has cancelled that. We need a new accidental to make this E flat again. Coming down in step, that's a D, C. Now here we have a B, which needs to be B flat, so we would need an accidental there. Down a step takes us to A, which is not part of this key signature, so that's fine. This is a B flat, it should be a B flat, and it already is because the accidental is still active from the earliest part of the bar. And then we end on a C, so that's that completed. And now we're in E flat major in the treble clef. E flat major would require B flats, E flats, A flats. So what do we have here? In the treble clef, that's note E. That would need to be E flat. And so we would need an accidental there. That's the B below middle C. That needs to be a B flat. Bearing this key signature in mind, we come back to the E flat, so that should still be E flat. However, we don't need a new accidental because this is still active until the bar line cancels it out. Then we have F, G, A. A should be flattened, G, F, and that's that completed. And it's interesting, this theory and sound little box here. If you play these without the correct accidentals or key signature, it's quite shocking how terrible they sound. And it's even worse if perhaps, oh well, is it even worse? I just think it really is quite awful. If you play it mostly with your key signature and then you forget the odd flat, it just sounds so stridently awful. And I think when you're playing a piece of music and you have to remember the key signature, you know, you'll only make that mistake once or twice because it sounds so truly awful. You soon learn that this should be a flat or a sharp, depending what key signature you're in. So it really does sound truly terrible when you miss the accidentals or the key signature. So we have a little challenge here. And we're asked to write out the scale, one of the new scales that we've done on the stave below. So we're going to have to choose a key. We're going to have to choose a clef, and then we're going to write out the scale. So I think, you know, you can choose whichever you like. I think I'll choose B flat major. And let's go in the bass clef. Now, I always find it's so much more helpful to take one thing at a time. So I just kind of peg out the mechanics first. So let's get the nuts and bolts in place and get all of the notes in the right place. And then we can worry about the accidentals. We use accidentals, not a key signature. But let's deal with that later. If you try and do everything at once, I think trouble's bound to happen. So I'm going to do an ascending scale, so I need to start relatively low. So of course we must start on a B, it will be flattened, good boys. And then remember, scale literally means step, so we're going to go line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our octave. And we can see the next note would be C. This is the B below middle C. Good boys deserve football, always A. So we've got B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's all correct. Now B flat major would have a key signature of B flats and E flats. And so we now need to add those as accidental. So the B flat will occur twice, because that's our tonic. So we begin and end on B flat, and then the E flat is here. B, C, D, E flat, all cows eat. The E is flattened, and that's that scale completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.